On today's episode, Kareem Hunt is back and he's got a new number, but will he play on Sunday versus the Falcons? Plus, we got great news on Isiah Pacheco's completed surgery. Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass.
Before we get the show started, do your boys a favor and hit that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl. Mike, let's break it down.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up.
The Chiefs released their initial injury report on Wednesday, and it is a bit shorter than last week versus the Bengals. However, Chiefs Kingdom may find one new name added to the list a bit unnerving after a long offseason full of missed practices. Wide receiver Xavier Worthy was listed on Wednesday's injury report with a quad issue, but to the right side of that, there's a big fat FP next to it, letting us know that he did indeed practice in full. Players must be listed on the injury report if they receive treatment from athletic training staff for injuries. Worthy played in 68% of the Chiefs' offensive snaps in Week 2 compared to 63% in Week 1. In better news, Kareem Hunt participated in his first full practice as a member of the back-to-back world champion Chiefs in 5.5 years. He looked to be fresh, agile, and very alert on the day. He is also sporting the number 29, which is shared by another practice squad member, cornerback Eric Scott Jr. Coach Reed took to the mic and said it could be possible he plays versus the Falcons on Sunday Night Football, and Mahomes was asked about his continued relationship with Kareem Hunt after he signed with the Browns.
Kareem was a close friend of mine while he was here, just being in the same draft class, everything like that. He came to my wedding, but obviously he went to Cleveland, has had a good career there, has learned and become a better person, and I'm glad to have him back now. And let's get him accustomed to the offense and see how fast we can get him out there.
Sounds like the Chiefs are just as excited to see Hunt return to the field as Chiefs Kingdom is. So here's hoping he can glue himself to the playbook while running on the treadmill for 48 straight hours.
The Kansas City Chiefs are making roster adjustments ahead of Week 3, announcing 5 player moves prior to Wednesday's practice. These changes come as the team navigates injuries and optimizes their 53-man roster. Notably, the Chiefs have re-signed running back Kareem Hunt to the practice squad. Hunt, originally drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017, returns after Isiah Pacheco was placed on injured reserve due to a significant injury that is expected to sideline him for 6 to 8 weeks. Well, that was the report, until Andy Reid decided to drop a bomb at his presser and scare the absolute piss out of everyone when he hinted at his return being next season.
As far as the injuries go, really Pacheco's the only one to announce. He's been put on IR, is having surgery today. I can't give you a time when he'll return, but there's, we'll just see if it's this season or next season. But we'll see how he does as he goes here.
There's also been an update with Pacheco's surgery. Ian Rappaport took to X to let Chiefs Kingdom know that Dr. Robert Anderson, the noted foot and ankle expert in Charlotte that performed his surgery today, found no ligament issues and ran into no complications. His timeline is now back on track for the 6 to 8 week original mark, although a conservative bet would be the playoffs. With Pacheco's move, the Chiefs still have one open spot on the 53-man roster. Linebacker Cole Christensen and running back Keontae Ingram have been elevated to fill the 51st and 52nd spots on the active roster. Christensen's elevation likely enhances special teams coverage, as teams typically carry 6 linebackers for that purpose. Ingram's promotion is also strategic, providing additional depth behind Carson Steele and Samaje Perine while Hunt acclimates to the team's system. Ingram has been with the Chiefs since November of 2023. Additionally, tight end Peyton Hendershot has cleared waivers and plans to re-sign with the Chiefs practice squad, as reported by NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. This move was anticipated following Hendershot's recent trade to Kansas City during roster cuts. His return to the practice squad means the Chiefs don't have to give up the conditional 7th-round pick to the Cowboys.
For the very first time, a cherished defender from the Kansas City Chiefs has been nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. Drumroll please. It's none other than the hard-hitting safety himself, Eric Berry. Now, before you start popping champagne, let's clarify, this is Berry's first time as a nominee, but technically not his first rodeo in terms of eligibility. Despite not formally hanging up his cleats, Berry's 5-year waiting period, also known as the "let's see if you really want to retire" timeframe, expired after his last appearance on the field in 2018. So while he might still have a pair of cleats lying around and hasn't formally retired just yet, he's officially in the nomination ring.
Drafted 5th overall in the 2010 NFL Draft straight out of Tennessee, Barry is a true legend in Chiefs history. His career was a roller coaster ride filled with challenges, but he emerged as one of the top defensive secondary players in the league. Think of him as the superhero of safeties, cape and all. Last year, he strutted into the College Football Hall of Fame like he owned the place. But now he's got his sights set on the bigger and better. But just know, it is quite tough to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, especially in your first year nominated.
Let's talk accolades, shall we? Overcoming Hodgkin's lymphoma and returning to the field, that's the kind of comeback story that deserves a standing ovation. And maybe a Hallmark movie. His career stats are pretty incredible. 445 total tackles, 29 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 51 passes defended, 14 picks, and 5 interceptions.
Now, before we put on our rose-colored glasses and start planning Barry's Hall of Fame induction party, we must address the two elephants in the room: longevity and playoff success. Barry only graced us with his presence in 89 regular season games, partly due to injuries and his battle with cancer. He managed to play a full 16-game season just 4 times in his 9-year career. Not too ideal. When it comes to the playoffs, Barry played in 6 games with the Chiefs, and let's just say the team's 1-5 record during that stretch isn't exactly Hall of Fame material. He did manage 42 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and 6 passes defended in those games. But we all know a few more wins would certainly have helped his case. Let's not forget, Barry isn't the only former Chief vying for his shiny new gold jacket. In fact, he's one of 16 former Chief players nominated among the 167 modern-era nominees. And that doesn't even include the 7 former Chiefs players nominated in the senior category.
Among the nominees are quarterback Rich Gannon, running back Jamal Charles, running back Priest Holmes, and a whole host of other Chiefs legends, each one a contender in their own right. So the competition is fierce. But if anyone knows how to tackle a challenge, it's Eric Berry. So best of luck, EB. You've always been a favorite of All Chiefed Up.
Yeah, Mike, so lots of news in Chiefs Kingdom this week. Starting out with Xavier Worthy being on the injury report. Don't think it's a big deal. But they also went and signed Kareem Hunt, man. That's something I never thought they would do.
Yeah, same. I'm glad Kareem Hunt is back, Steve. Xavier Worthy being on the injury report, not a big deal. He was a full participant in practice on Wednesday. I'm sure he's going to practice on Thursday as well. So probably not a big deal. He's going to be on turf this week, so maybe he can use that speed to blow by defenders. And Mahomes is always big in domes, Steve. We can call him Madomes.
It does kind of suck that it comes at the expense of Isiah Pacheco being out for an extended period of time, but it is pretty freaking exciting to see Kareem Hunt back in the Chiefs jersey, Mike. When he played here, he got drafted the same year as Mahomes. They clicked on all cylinders from the get-go. It was fun to watch because they were having fun. Kareem Hunt did a lot of things well. He ran the ball.
Pacheco's surgery did go well today. They said no ligament damage, Steve. Plus, we still got Carson Steele on the roster, and Samaje Perine is due to play a little bit more football. I think Andy is going to let Kareem Hunt get in game shape. I don't think they'll call him up this week, although it wouldn't surprise me very much if they did. That sounds like an Andy move. But they did call up Keontae Ingram already. I think they should let Carson Steele get a little bit of time. I could see Carson Steele going 10, 15 carries, and I think he's going to be completely fine with it. They are on turf, so I think the passing game is going to get more prolific this week. But I don't want them to get away from the running game because they've been tearing it up so far in the season, and I really think Carson Steele can get it done.
Let's talk about a fun story, Mike. One of my favorite videos of all time when I just go on YouTube was when Eric Berry was extremely terrified of war paint. He just absolutely hated horses, and it was hilarious to me. I've watched that video at least 20 times. Loved Eric Berry as a Chief. I think being in the Hall of Fame is well-deserved. It's going to be a long road, but do you think he'll get there?
Yeah, I think he'll eventually get there. I don't know if it'll happen in 2025 on the first ballot, but at some point he probably does need to be in the Hall of Fame. The dude played well at Tennessee. He played well with the Chiefs, Steve. He overcame cancer. He's a fighter. One of my favorite memories as a Chiefs fan is watching Eric Berry come back when he finally beat cancer. He played against the Falcons in his hometown in front of his family. He also returned a 2-point conversion back the other way for 2 points for the Chiefs. We ended up winning that game. It was a special moment, man. I really like Eric Berry. I've always been a fan of Eric Berry. I want to see him continue to have success in life, so I hope he does get in the Hall of Fame someday.
Yeah, Mike, that was one of my favorite memories as a Chiefs fan, too, was just seeing Eric Berry come out of the tunnel, the flames going up in his intro back right after he beat cancer. That was freaking awesome, man. It sent chills up my spine. I think everybody had the code chills. If they didn't, we should have been checking them for a pulse, but that was a freaking iconic moment. And that's where we hand this off to you, Chiefs Kingdom. Make sure to get down in the comments. Let us know what you think about Kareem Hunt being a Chief again. And also, do you think Eric Berry deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for liking, subscribing, clicking that bell. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.